Andrea Caser. Hello everyone, we are continuing with the three-person umpiring crew positioning and coverages presentation. This is the third and final part of the presentation. Here we have a great photo of my colleagues. Today we will examine different situations as part of the three-person umpire crew. First situation. Runners on first and third. First base umpire is positioned 3 to 4 meters behind first base, preparing to make a call on a play at first base. Third base umpire is in position C, a few meters from second base towards the end of the infield grass and prepared to judge a play at second base. Ball is hit to right center field. First base umpire runs out to judge the ball in the outfield. Third base umpire moves to a position between first and second base, and he moves based on how the play unfolds. If the ball is caught, he watches the runner return or tag up at first base, and if not, he watches for a play at second base. Home plate umpire watches for a play at home. If the ball is hit to left field in this same situation, the third base umpire makes a call on the ball hit to the outfield without leaving the infield. If the ball is hit closer to foul territory along the third base line, then the home plate umpire is responsible for making this call. The umpire at first base watches the runner on first base and follows him to second base should the ball drop or should he attempt to tag up. If there is a clear base hit, the first base umpire moves quickly into the infield and pushes the third base umpire to foul ground behind third base. Next slide. Here we have a rundown between first and second base, but it also could be a double steal. In this case, the first base umpire stays outside the baselines while the third base umpire is on the infield grass to divide the work into two. If the base runner makes it to third base, the third base umpire is responsible for judging him now, despite being quite far from him. He would still be in a better position to make calls at third than the home plate umpire who's in charge of potential plays at the plate. Next slide. Runners on second and third base. In this situation, we have less than 2 outs, and the first base umpire is on the end of the infield grass near second base. If there were two outs, it would be the third base umpire entering the infield and moving into position C, while the first base umpire would be ready to make calls on plays at first. We have a ball hit to right center field. First base umpire moves behind the mound to be in a position to judge the ball hit to the outfield, as well as to be positioned to make a call on a play at second base. The third base umpire is responsible for the base runner on third base and potential arrival of the runner on second base to third. Home plate umpire judges plays at the plate. If the ball was hit to right field in foul ground, the home plate umpire would be in charge of making the call and would be positioned in foul ground along the third base line. Next slide. In this situation, we have a ball hit to left center field. Third base umpire makes a call on the ball hit to the outfield. First base umpire is behind the mound between second and third base and moves dependent on the defense's subsequent play, as there could be a play at second or third. Home plate umpire makes calls on plays at the plate. Let us move on to situations with bases loaded. Fly ball hit to right center field. First base umpire moves towards the outfield to call the play. Third base umpire moves behind the mound and is responsible to watch runners on first and second base. Home plate umpire watches the runner at third base and is responsible as usual for plays at the plate. It is important to be in a good position and not be so quick to leave your initial position so that you can effectively judge a ball that will be caught as well as a ball that will be a clear base hit. Avoid putting the other umpires in a position where they have to cover too many bases. Let us move on to the next situation. Base hit to left center field. Third base umpire must make a call on this ball hit to the outfield from a position behind home plate and makes calls on plays at second and third base. First base umpire has two options. He can enter the infield to watch the base runner at first and follow him to second, or, the better choice, follow the runner to second base and be prepared to make a call on a play there as well, as he would maintain a vantage point directly in front of the play. When the judgment call of a fly ball falls under the responsibility of an umpire who is in the infield, that umpire never leaves the infield. Reaching foul territory is too far and not practical for the responsibilities he has in the infield. The other base umpire could leave their position to help make a judgment on this fly ball instead, which is a better option. Next slide. We will see the example of a base hit with bases loaded. If it is clear that this is a base hit, the first base umpire enters the infield and pushes the third base umpire towards third base to make calls on all plays at third base. The goal here is to have the third base umpire in foul ground and be able to make calls where he has a clear vantage point and is not in the way of the plays the defense will be trying to make. First base umpire is responsible for plays at first base and follows the first base runner to second base. Home plate umpire stays at home plate and maintains a strong position in order to be able to make calls on plays at the plate. We are coming to the end of the presentation as we have covered all of the situations pertinent for a three-person umpiring crew. It is important to remember that the three-person umpire crew is different from the two-person crew, and as such, the right training and practice is necessary to ensure the right coverages, movements, and positioning. Like previously stated, we can never leave a base uncovered, and should mistakes be made by our colleagues, we must always be in a position to back them up and leave no area of the field unwatched. Be aware of any and all possible situations that may occur. We are a team and never forget this. In closing, I want to thank you for your attention. I want to thank Phipps and the President for making this possible, as well as all the technical support, especially from Daniele Vermercati. I wish you all the best for this season.